one of the things I'm passionate about is not where I am today, but the course that it took for me to get here. The fact that I had to get out of my own way. And so I want to challenge you guys today to get out of your way. All right? I want you guys to think about the dreams that you've had in life that have been deferred. For me, I've had a lot of dreams along the way, but in many cases, I didn't accomplish them because I was afraid of failing. I was afraid of being successful because, as I said at the chamber meeting the other day, there's nothing worse than being the most successful one in your family because everybody's going to expect you to give them money and take care of them, or they're just going to be mean to you because they're jealous of where you are in life. In many cases, we don't succeed because of a lack of support, encouragement, limited resources, education, economic uncertainty, environmental factors, and my favorite one really are the Dream Snatchers. In my case, my voice was the Dream Snatcher. When I turned 14, my voice started to change, and that limited my career as a singer and my goal of becoming the next Michael Jackson without the brothers. So who is your biggest dream snatcher? Is it your spouse? Don't raise your hand. Don't acknowledge it. Is it your boss? Could it be your kids that unfortunately need the designer jeans and unfortunately you can't move them out of the house? So they have made you put aside your dream for the moment. It could be your best friend. It could be your education. It could be your community. It could be the environment that you're in, the people that you've surrounded yourself with. And frankly, in most cases, it's you. Over the years, I had a bunch of people that have been, as I call them, haters along the way. They've told me what I wouldn't do, how successful I would not be, and all the wonderful things to discourage me from doing what I wanted to do. And then sometimes it was even my own mom. She had a fear as well that she then placed on me. But that didn't stop me. It actually motivated me. There's a good song, Let Your Haters Be Your Motivators. And when people meet me today, they have no idea about my past. They have no clue that my parents married young, divorced, and I was only 9 months old. My dad dropped me and my mom off at my grandparents' house when I was 9 months old, right around Father's Day weekend, by the way, and moved on to the West Coast. We always hear the negative stats about kids growing up without their fathers and all the stuff that they get involved in. They drop out of school. They either become the drug users or the drug dealers. They end up with kids as teenagers. They become the most challenged young people, right? And then guess what? They grow up. They in turn have kids, and they never resolve some of those issues, so we repeat that cycle. I was determined to beat the odds. I actually graduated from high school. I went on and got a marketing degree, went on as well and got an MBA with a concentration in economics. And I started my career in nonprofit, by the way. Along the way of getting the MBA, I was doing marketing and fundraising and career development with young people. And I had a vice president sit down with me one day and say, Sedrik, you're really not good at marketing. I think you should concentrate on working with the young people because you're really good at talking and motivating them. I think that should be your focus. I said, no, we just spent a lot of money for me to get this marketing degree. There is no way I'm not doing marketing, and I'm actually good at it. I've been doing it for a long time before I came to the YMCA. So interestingly enough, a year later, I got hired by Allstate. I became a marketing consultant, training and helping to build marketing plans for over 1,000 agents across the South, traveling all over 5 states. Then I was promoted to be the marketing or regional marketing manager, which is like the marketing department manager, negotiating deals with the Redskins and the Ravens up on the East Coast in DC and in Maryland, Virginia area. I was responsible for a $3 million budget and brought in more than $10 million a year in new business revenue because of my efforts. But I was told I knew nothing about marketing. So just imagine if I had listened to that leader that told me that I knew nothing about marketing. So who am I today? Everybody knows me as the Allstate guy. I'm your mayhem protector, right? I keep you guys out of mayhem. But I'm also an author, a motivational speaker. I own a couple of businesses, and I've created a foundation in large part thanks to a conversation I had with The Rock. again, if I had bought into the negativity of the community that I lived in, my situation of growing up without a father, if I had bought into the conversation of my family members that told me that I was not going to amount to much of anything because I didn't have a father, or because of whatever decision I made at that moment in time, and definitely that vice president, which I still don't know where he is. I said I was going to Google him to see where he is, but I hear his career didn't take off. Just imagine if I had paid attention to that. I had bought into those Dream Snatchers. I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be successful in marketing. I wouldn't be an entrepreneur, and I wouldn't be here this morning talking to you about moving on and getting out of your own way. We carry a lot of baggage and bitterness and resentment from relationship to relationship. Many of us aren't successful on our jobs because we carry a chip on our shoulder. We're always angry. We deal with a lot of crazy people all throughout the day. And because we're not able to put that moment in the past and move on from the pain, we're not able to trust people. So it's very difficult, right? And it's okay if you don't agree, because I know this is a very touching moment for you guys, and nobody wants to know that anybody's hurt. But I've been hurt. I've had some tough days. But I stay motivated because of one thing. It's my attitude. The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude to me is more important than facts. It's more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than successes, than what other people think or say or do. It is more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a church, a home. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people will act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The thing we can do is play on the one string we have, and that is our attitude. The thing we can do is play on the one string we have, and that is our attitude. I'm convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. And so it's with you. We are in charge of our attitudes. If it were not for this poem and the Serenity Prayer, I don't know where I'd be, because those help shape my attitude every single day. I accept what I can change, and I pray for wisdom to know the difference of the things I can't and can change. So it's very important that you focus on the fact that it's 90% of how you react to it. It's not the 10%, because we could all walk out here today and have the most horrific experience when we walk in our office. But how we respond to it, everybody around us is a witness to that. Imagine if I quit. Imagine if I didn't have a coach, I didn't have people in my life, men mentoring me along the way saying, Sedrik, don't give up, don't you quit on me. I challenge each of you to find that mentor, and if you are that person, be a mentor to somebody else, and put that voice in your head that tells you every single day, don't quit on me. I talk a lot about the book. I want to tell you briefly about the story behind it. Not only did my father leave at 9 months old, at 18 years old, I sat down with him over a Christmas holiday after spending summers and all the different things with him, spent time with him, and I looked him in the eye and said, Dad, I forgive you for leaving. I forgive you for not being there for me when I was growing up. And it was at that moment that my dad forgave himself. That was the most powerful moment for both of us, because since that day, we are now the best of friends. We have an unbreakable bond. I talk to him 2 or 3 times a week, even though he's still out in California. That's why I wrote this book, because I believe that so many people lose the power that God has given them to be successful because they're not able to move beyond the past.